Like I said, we are in the time of the great revelation, the great unveiling. And as time goes on, we're going to start seeing these connections and we're going to start realizing, like there was just recently, there was a judge, South Carolina, a judge in a judge who just got convicted for child, you know what type of material. Okay. And not only, trigger warning, big fat freaking trigger warning, not only was he arrested for that, but part of what they found in the evidence, incriminating this guy was him, text messages between him and his creepy ass friends, his other perverted ass friends, where he's admitting in the text messages and talking about in the text messages assaulting a baby, a 2-week-old baby. This is a judge. He was the judge on the Dylan Roof case. Dylan Roof, the guy who shot up, I believe it was the church, the racist. This is a judge. There was another judge who I don't know if it was recently or like the last couple years, who was shot to death in his office. They go into his, obviously they do an investigation, come to find out this guy is running a sex trafficking ring out of the local jail. This is the judge. So who do the victims go to when the people who they're supposed to go to are the people who are perpetrating? We're going to start finding out the deep, dark, dirty secrets of Child Protective Services, DCFS, CPS, whatever you call it, wherever you come from. That's going to start coming out too, okay? It's not a coinky-dink that kids just go missing from the system. It's not a coinky-dink. We just found out that something like 1,200 people have disappeared from Alligator Alcatraz. How you lose 1,200 motherfucking people? 1,200. Not 12, not 100. 1,200 people have gone missing from Alligator Alcatraz. But are we surprised when there's still 1,400 children who have not been reconnected with their families from the first Trump administration? The kids they were throwing in cages? These traffickers, they got to have a supply. They got to have a supply, we're starting to hear the stories coming out. People are starting to come out and telling us where they're getting these supplies of victims. Cruise ships, traveling, people don't go. I just saw a story of some girl who got kidnapped in Tunisia. Thankfully, she got out. So I say all this to say that we are currently in what I would call the Great Unveiling. A lot of dirt is coming to the surface. There's a Vedic astrology. There's different types of astrology. There's Vedic astrology, which is different from the Western astrology that you and I are all familiar with. Vedic astrology is a lot more in depth. There's a Vedic astrologer. Her name is Carefree Brown Girl. Love her. And she mentioned that in Vedic astrology, 2025 is the year of humiliation. The year of humiliation, meaning that this is a year that things are being exposed. She also says that according to Vedic astrology, we're in the downfall of colonialism as well. But it's going to come on the tail end of fascism coming back. But we'll talk about that at a later day. But the point is that even in astrology, this is being reflected. And I think that this is being reflected in astrology. All you astrologers can come in and say what transits are happening. But we're seeing the big unveiling. All the secrets are coming to the surface. And y'all better start girding your loins. Y'all better get ready. Brace yourselves. Because your faves are going to start getting exposed even more. Even more. Y'all got to brace yourselves. And it's just wild. I mean, there's just so much stuff coming out that is like, literally the other day, I found out about, have y'all heard of bug chasers? I'm sorry that I have to start out this episode by dropping all this weirdo shit on you. But it's like when I found out, I was like, I can't believe this is a thing. Have y'all heard of bug chasers? a, I learned this recently. There are people out there who their kink, their fetish, what gets them off is giving and receiving STIs, sexually transmitted infections. That's their fetish. There are people in the world who get off on giving and receiving. I mean, and how did I find out about this? Because as usual, someone online was talking about it from their personal experience. And let me see if I could pull that up. This girl was talking about how her dad is a bug chaser.
My dad purposefully got HIV because he's a self-proclaimed bug chaser and he thinks that it's hot. And no, I'm not joking, because he methodically was planning to do this for years. When we were children, he started to buy books about AIDS and the AIDS epidemic. He would read them and then he would come up to our family and my other siblings and tell us about how amazing it was to be able to take care of victims of the AIDS epidemic and how wouldn't it be such a good cause? How he just feels so bad for all of those victims and how they just want someone to take care of them. This was all methodic planning so my dad could help us become desensitized for when he developed HIV. About 2 years ago, my family received a call about how my dad was extremely sick. He had rashes on his body, he couldn't sleep, night sweats, all of these horrible things. He genuinely seemed like he was going to die. He goes to the hospital a couple of days later and then we get a call. He had developed 3 STDs, one of them being HIV. Yes, I confronted him about getting it on purpose. He did not deny this, because why would he? He chose to abandon his family so he could then pursue this life of bug chasing and being with other bug chasers. Not only did he try to groom me to be his partner and his toy, but he also wanted us, his family, to take care of him when he purposefully self-destructed. And I'm not supposed to talk about this either, but I hate him, so.
Okay. That is, I can't even read that name. I'm just gonna have to put in it's a million names at once. And she's not the only one. I've seen other people talking about this. Y'all, this is the world we live in. And we're all sitting here thinking that there are people out there, can you believe that? And this man had a family. This isn't just some single dude out there being a weirdo. This dude had a family and he was willing to drag his whole family into this nonsense. I mean, we are really living in some, like they say Sodom and Gomorrah, Babylon, whatever. I mean, I don't even know. I'm like, it's giving worse. It's giving worse. So I just, again, just be prepared. A lot of stuff is going to be coming out over the next few months, over the next few years. Probably I'd say for this next decade, we're going to find out the dirt, the deep down, low, dirty dirt. And like I said, be prepared, because we're finding out the truth of all that's been happening behind the scenes. That's been affecting all of us, right? Because this isn't just about being salacious and whatever. This is affecting us. That whole groiper transmaxing community, those motherfuckers are running our government right now. Okay? This isn't just a bunch of dudes in their basement being weird. That groiper community, they are the reason partly why we have Donald Trump. They thought it would be funny. Because remember, this is an online community. Everything's about irony, memes and irony, right? They thought it would be ironic and funny to have that man as president. And so they put their entire internet weight behind him. And that they are part of the reason why this man is where he is today. And there are people like them who are in the administration, in the government right now with these warped ass BNWO, transmaxing, weirdo, femboy, this mentality. These are the people who are running our government. Just let that one sink in.